and give them a little you gotta call to them, you know what I mean? You're like, come here, MON-TEY, and like that, just like that.
And it's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of water. It's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of water.
Hey Hatchlings, it's DragonFeather and welcome back to the channel, and on today's episode we're gonna cover how you can meet MON-TEY or your personal dragon guardian in your craft. And this is going to be dedicated just towards meeting dragon guardians that are your personal dragon guardian, and we call them MON-TEY as a term of respect. So when you are trying to contact this entity or this being, please call them by MON-TEY. They will really appreciate it and be more likely to appear to you. In this video, we're just going to cover some of the basic ways that you can get into contact with this being, how you can commune with them, how to open yourself up to them, as well as how to work with them and cultivate a relationship, because it's very important if you are a practitioner of magic and you wish to work with draconic magic, especially if you want to be a draconic Wiccan or a practitioner of the draconic path, or if you just want to get a little bit more in touch with mythical creatures and dragons in particular. And you can go ahead and find everything else I did not cover in this video in a blog post within Unicoven and the Hatchling clan. If you guys are interested in learning more, go ahead and check those links out down below. And as soon as the guided meditation to meet MON-TEY is finished, you can find it at the end of this video, linked down below, or within the post in Unicoven or Hatchling clan if it is not there already. So you want to meet MON-TEY, you want to meet your personal dragon guardian, and you want to cultivate a relationship with this being so you can have a better craft experience, or to enhance your practice, or just because you really admire these beings and you want to get to know more. If you want to get to know MON-TEY, if you want to connect with them, then first we got to start at the very basics. The best way to do this is to open yourself up to the spiritual realm, and something that is very commonly done for this, and probably the most popular way it is done, is via meditation. And I really recommend trying meditation for this, because when you meditate, you put yourself into a trance-like state that opens yourself up. It changes the brain waves that your brain is producing and therefore makes you more open to otherworldly communication. And that is a great way to meet your dragon guardian or MON-TEY. Once you have tried meditation, you can go ahead and see how that works for you. If you do not meet MON-TEY the first time, that is 110% okay, because it is most likely they will not appear to you the first time, and they did not appear to me the first time. However, if when you were a kid you had experiences with dragons and you also had, you know, a very wild imagination and you were really in touch with the fairy realm or with mythical creatures, especially dragons, then chances are you may have already met your MON-TEY, and all you need to do is re-establish that connection with them. If that's the case, just be dedicated, take some time, put it aside, meditate, and try and communicate with them daily. They'll really appreciate that. Even if they're not responding to you per se, if you are making the consistent effort to talk to them, they will notice, they will hear you, and they are watching you. Whether or not you realize it, your guardians are with you always, and they choose when to manifest themselves to you when they think you are most fit and most receptible to them, and also when they believe you are ready. Meditation is a great way to contact with your MON-TEY, but it's not the only way, and honestly may not be the best way for you. So one of the other ways that's really awesome to connect with MON-TEY or your personal dragon guardian, and my personal favorite, is via divination. And this can be done in a multitude of different ways. You can do sky scrying, you can do tarot cards or oracle cards, you can do runes, you can do crystal scrying balls, you can use pendulums, you can use anything that you can think of, you can use seromancy, you can use tasseography, you can use any type of divination that works best for you, or even a method of your own that you create just for the occasion. That being said, what is divination? Well, divination is a type of practice that you can do that is to get in touch with the divine, or with extra spiritual energy around, or with the spiritual realm, or with your higher self. It's a great tool to use if you wish to get in touch with a dragon, because you can ask them to communicate with you through the cards, through the runes, through the crystal ball, through the clouds, through the incense smoke, through the candle flame. Literally whatever it is that you have chosen to use, you can call upon your guardian to give you messages, to speak to you, and to show their presence via that way. Divination is one of the most efficient ways to contact MON-TEY, especially when done consistently, and something that I love to do do is every morning draw a card for the day and ask my guardians where I need to go, what I need to keep in mind, and something that I should really focus on for the day in order to progress and do something that helps me feel fulfilled. Another way that you can get in touch with MON-TEY, and this one might not be common for everybody else, but for those who are open to this and who practice this commonly, can be a very beneficial way to connect. One of my favorite ways to connect with my dragon guardians, as rare as it happens, is via dreaming about them. Now you can cast spells or create pouches to bring you dreams. I have created a little sachet called a dragon dream sachet, and I leave that under my pillow or by my head while I'm sleeping if I wish to have MON-TEY visit me in my dreams. Or you can even put something like amethyst that has been charged with giving you dreams of MON-TEY. Maybe it's a stone that you have offered MON-TEY and you sleep with it, so MON-TEY will join you in your dreamscape. This is something that can be done. It may be a little bit more difficult for those of you who may struggle with dreaming, who have not very much experience in your dreamscape or with lucid dreaming, or just don't really like dreaming in general. This can be something that may be a challenge, but for those of you who really love dreaming and who are very good at it, then this is a great way for you to get in touch with them, and the experiences within the dream realm are sometimes some of the most vivid, and they stick, man. You'll never forget it. And that's one thing that's really powerful about the dreamscape. I think that dreaming is a way that maybe not as common, but is definitely noteworthy and definitely something to try when you want to connect with MON-TEY. Another way that you can connect with MON-TEY, and this is probably a little more formal, but you can go ahead and perform a ritual for them to invite them into your space and to dedicate yourself to them and to show them that you want to work with them, that you're open to them, that you love them, that you're like, hey bro, I'm ready, let's do this, let's talk about this, let's make some magic together. By holding a ritual for them in their honor, you are basically going through the motions of raising energy for them in their honor, and they will really appreciate a gesture like that. Now, draconic practices, if this is something that you want to do, you definitely want to meet MON-TEY before you continue on your path. And this is because they will guide you through the inner rings, they will guide you through the spirit realm, and they will guide you through your journey and keep you protected with what you are doing. When you're working with draconic magic, it is essential to meet MON-TEY first before actually proceeding and doing draconic magic without them around, because that can backfire, and if you're doing draconic magic without dragons, it's kind of just magic. So you really want to get in contact with them. And there are many different ways that you can do this. If you guys are interested in a ritual, very simple one, very basic one, you can find it in the post linked down below. That's in the Hatchling clan and Unicoven, because that's going to go over everything you need to know about how to perform a ritual to call upon your dragon guardian. It's pretty fun and can be definitely exhausting. So make sure that when you do this, you take the time to make sure you will not be disturbed. If you have materials, gather all your materials that you're using. If you have no materials, make sure you set the stage within your inner realm so they can visit you in your inner realm, and give them a little nudge and give them a little you gotta call to them, you know what I mean? You're like, come here, MON-TEY, like that. Just like that. Basically, you're setting off a spark in the spiritual realm, and that means that they're gonna notice you. So if you do this in addition to any of the other things I mentioned, or if you do this first as a way to be like, hey, this is what's happening, I'm here for it, I'm here for you, let's get it done. They're gonna notice that, and they're gonna keep an eye on you. Definitely something to do to meet your MON-TEY, and if you do it regularly, they might actually make an appearance. So it can be very exciting, and something that's most definitely worth trying. Something else you can do to meet MON-TEY, and this is probably the most complicated way to do this, but definitely successful nonetheless, is by astral projection. And astral projection is when we have our consciousness or our light bodies leave our physical being and go travel in the astral realm. And our dragon guardians exist in the astral realm or the spiritual realm. And this is a place for them to connect with you and for you to experience, you know, some awesome things with them. So one second, because my cat's being a dick. Keisha! Astral projection is something that is very difficult to do, especially if you've never done it before. However, there's a lot of people on this planet who are very naturally gifted with that, and if you spend some time practicing it regularly, you'll definitely get better. So if this is something that you want to try to meet MON-TEY and connect with your dragon guardian, you most definitely should try it. You probably won't be successful the first time unless this is something that you already regularly do, and that is 110% okay, because if you take the time to dedicate to learn how to do this, to talk to MON-TEY MON-TEY to connect with your dragon guardian, they'll appreciate that because they notice you're taking your time, your energy, and your effort to make sure that you can talk to them, just so you can talk to them. And that's really honoring to them, and they really appreciate that because they don't want to just give their attention to somebody who's not going to appreciate it. They want to give their time and their attention to somebody who they know is going to listen, who's going to be dedicated, who's not going to be a little bitch, who's going to follow them and their order, and who's going to help bring richness to their life as well. And when you are in the astral realm with your guardians, it's a great way to feel liberated and to connect with them on a way that you can't really do so much in the physical world, but you definitely can in the astral realm. And I definitely recommend giving it a spin if you are so daring to try. Those are some common ways to connect with MON-TEY. They are not the only ways you can connect with MON-TEY, but they are nonetheless some of the better types of ways to do it. If you have more ways that you like to connect with MON-TEY, please leave them in the comment section below if I missed anything, especially so everyone else, including myself, can see some new ways to connect with MON-TEY. We have some other things to cover now. Number one, what to expect when working with MON-TEY. How are you supposed to know they're there? How are you supposed to verify that you're not just hallucinating off your booty cheeks? And how to work with them. Let's start with offerings. When you're working with MON-TEY, and if you want to work with MON-TEY, you can also give them offerings. This can be of plants that you've grown yourself. Anything that you've grown yourself is definitely extra tidbit points because they really appreciate that you took the time to grow the plant to give to them. They really, really appreciate that, major brownie points. You can also give them jewels that you make them, jewelry, or you can offer them crystals. You can also give them feathers or things that you create for them. You can offer them candles or flames. You can offer them incense or herbal blends or essential oils or, anything really. But whatever you choose to offer them, you can do this, and this way, it's a great way to start to show respect to them. It's all about showing respect to these creatures because they are very, very strict in their code of conduct and their code of ethics, and if you do not show respect, they will not show themselves to you. When respecting them, a great way to do this is offerings. If you can leave them daily offerings, that is the prime way to do it. However, not everybody can do this, but you can also offer them your thoughts and some gorgeous conversation, am I right? Talk their ear off, they might really enjoy it. You never know. Once you give them offerings, you may actually provoke them to show themselves. But what do you actually do when they show themselves? When your dragon guardian finally shows themselves to you, it might not be how you think. They're not going to materialize in front of you. They are not physical beings. You will not physically see them. That's something I'm going to tell you right now. You might see them with your third eye, and it may look physical, but it is not physical. They are not physical reality, and it's very important to stress that because they are separate from our world in that sense. They are astral beings, not physical beings, if that makes sense. We are physical beings with a spirit. They are spiritual beings. They're just doing their own thing in their own world. Sometimes they say hey, sometimes they say hey. When you have a dragon approach you, oftentimes they will not approach you from the front. They will approach you from behind on one side or the other, or they'll approach you between your shoulder blades. You might notice some tapping, some touching, some tingling on your back when they're around you. You might notice the environment change emotionally, and what I mean by that is you might notice it become much more heavy, or much more relaxed, or much more excited. It might be like that when they appear. They might not even show themselves to you, or you might not even feel them behind you. They just might change the atmosphere, and that's the way that they're like, hey bro, I'm here. If they do approach to you this way, they probably won't stay for very long, and they probably will never talk to you, like how I'm talking to you now. They're very telepathic creatures who talk in riddle, and if they do not talk to you, they will speak to you in emotion. It's something very different from what we experience here on Earth with humans and other, beings that we associate with, but it is nevertheless a way they communicate, and it's very good to be aware of that. You may also find yourself get really, really warm, very, very hot. You might start sweating if they're around. This has happened to me a few times and is definitely a way to know your MON-TEY is around, or a dragon for that matter. Those are some ways to identify that MON-TEY has shown up. You may also notice the flames on your altar go a little bit crazy, or the incense smoke go a little bit crazy. They'll fuck with that shit. You never know what they're gonna do. But those are some common ways to acknowledge that they have appeared to you, that they are in your presence, and that you're most definitely not just tripping balls. So that is how to know that they're around you. And once you have MON-TEY in your space, once you have them actively coming to you and you are working on developing a relationship, how do you maintain that? How do you maintain your connection with them? Daily conversation is essential. If you do not have the time to dedicate meditating for them every day or whatever, just taking 10 minutes or 15 minutes out of your day to send them some loving thoughts and be like, hey, having a busy day, but you're amazing. I love you. I hope you're having a good day. Literally like a friend. They're literally like a companion. To be respected and to be treated with respect and to be treated no different than one of your friends or family. They are above you. I don't mean to be like, oh, well, there's a hierarchy here, but they're above you, so don't fucking do any dumb shit. Show your respect and show your compassion and make sure that you're considerate of their time, and they'll really appreciate that, and that'll go a very long distance in your craft, especially when they choose to help you with their magic. When your MON-TEY appears to you, you may or may not see a color. However, most of the time, the corresponding element of your sun sign zodiac is going to be the element of the dragon you work with. For example, I'm an Aquarius, which is an air sign, and the dragon I work with is an air dragon. Although recently I've wondered if he's actually a chaos light dragon, which would make me feel really fucking stupid. They're mysterious, that's the point here. You might not know right away, and that's okay. But for the most part, they'll be the element of your sun sign. However, if you're not connected to that element, they might be the element that you're most connected to. It's gonna be extraordinarily rare for you to work with a purple dragon. Don't just say you work with a purple dragon because you like fucking purple dragons, okay? If you're really working with a purple dragon, kudos to you. Don't fuck it up, okay? But don't just go bragging around that you're working with some high and mighty dragon, because bitch, you're not. Most of the time, your dragon guardians are going to be about this big. They're small little motherfuckers, and the reason why they're so small is because they are young, learning how to be dragons, learning how to be guardians, with guardians of their own watching over them, and you by extension, and they are learning. Now, are all the dragons gonna be Tikas or small dragons? No, that's not always the case. Most of the time, they will be small. Do not disrespect your dragon because of their size or their age or their appearance or whatever, because they will not like that, they will not like you, and I am not responsible if they fucking bite you for it. So all I'm saying is to keep your mind open and not be like, oh, I have this dragon because this and this and this, and you can't convince me otherwise. Because the only thing you're doing is like gypping yourself of a real experience, and that is your damn problem. You can even make them cakes and stuff or make them meals or whatever. Some dragons actually like meat as offerings, so if you're a vegan like me, you might not want to work with those kinds of dragons. But if you are cool with that, that is something you can offer a dragon, is raw meat. Just make sure that you dispose of it properly so you don't have a rotting carcass in your house, just so you know. And I definitely recommend, once you have established a connection with MON-TEY, to work out with them a summoning ritual to where you can summon them whenever you need them, and you have their consent doing this. Do not summon them with a spell. Do not write a spell to summon them unless you have their consent, or they will not come, and they might actually kind of turn it backwards a little bit. Make sure you approach them after they have shown themselves to you saying, hey, I want to make a spell to where I can summon you. I don't want to make it to where you are obligated to do my bidding, but to where if I need you, you'll come when I call. And a lot of them will cooperate with you, and you can work together and collaborate with your dragon guardian to create this. You can also collaborate with your guardian on spells that you want to do. Ask them for advice, ask them for help, and in return give them offerings and love and compassion and a space to exist, and, you know, just good vibes and good energy for them to feed upon. That is all I have to say for meeting MON-TEY and how to connect with your personal dragon guardian. This video was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but for everything I did not cover in this video, go ahead and check down the link below, and it will include everything that I missed in this video plus more, including a ritual on how you can contact MON-TEY. And that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sending you all my love and positive energy for today, and I hope that you guys are having a magical day wherever you are. If you guys have any questions or comments about MON-TEY or how to meet your personal dragon guardian, connecting with them, maintaining that connection, and working with them in the craft, please leave them down below and let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If I get a lot of questions for this, maybe I'll make a Q&A about it. So if you guys really want to learn more about how to connect with MON-TEY and all of that, please do not hesitate to leave that in the description box, in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the post in Unicoven and the Hatchling clan linked down below. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky little hatchlings. But until next time, blessed be and bye.
And it's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of water.